Yixamish, you lovely people, and welcome. Bit of a spur of the moment video here. Just went to flightsim.to, like I usually do at least once a day, to check out what's going on over there with those crazy cats. And on their front page, there was news of a Freeware F-86 Sabre. Now, turns out it's the old FSX Milviz / Blackbird Simulations F-86 Sabre, of which I had back in the day, and it was a great little aircraft, nice little addition. So what they've done is the creators have gone in, modified it, and brought it up to native MSFS standard. But one of the ways that they were able to do this, there was a condition set by Blackbird Simulations or ex-Milviz for the release, was to have it so that the cockpit was not clickable. Now that might take quite a bit of the function away from navigational flights and things of that nature, but it's on the other hand, it's a fun aircraft to fly. It will almost certainly be done in VFR whenever you fly it. I think it was released in mind for groups to, I don't know, do air shows or just some aerobatic flying and a bit of fun, which is really good. And they've also added some other bits and pieces to it as well, and kept it more true to the nature of the F-86. So if we go into liveries, and we will see what liveries we get. Now what they have done is they've gone in and they've changed the material, made it more reflective, and brought it up to a good standard for flight sim. But the liveries need updating. They're still the old FSX ones, but sort of brought as close up to a decent standard for flight sim as they possibly can. But we'll see once we get in there. But let's see what liveries are included. So you've got the Huff, 385, Paul's Mid Killer, 096, 165, 329, 421. Then we've got the Portuguese Air Force, or FAP as they're called, 316, and then we've got two Spanish liveries. Now I'm just going to go with, let's pick one at random. Yeah, we'll go with these guys here. Don't mess with anything in the weight and balance. We'll do that in sim. And I'm going to be flying from RF Lakeney. So let's get into the cockpit. Don't you just love it when you're halfway through a review video and your head tracking camera decides it doesn't exist anymore? Oh, I hate PCs. Anyway, so that brings me on to a bit of a segue. VR. This isn't VR compatible. The cockpit is still very much an MDL file. Take a lot to convert it, and was not part of the plan anyway. So yeah, unfortunately you can't use VR with that, but head tracking is just fine. And as you can see, if I'm completely honest, it looks absolutely fantastic. It really does look good. I mean, it's exactly how I remember it, except that I'm using more head tracking in flight sim than I was in FSX, and just getting around the cockpit is brilliant. But like I say, none of it is clickable, and that was a part of the deal that Milviz / Blackbird Simulations, it was part of the deal that they had with the converter to bring this as a freeware to flight sim. Well, PC users, unfortunately unavailable. Exactly like the DC Designs F-18 legacy variant that they bought, that was bought from FSX into Flight Sim. This is the same deal, except nothing's clickable in Cockpit. So unless you've got everything bound, if you're one of those people with lots of external switches and have certain things bound to certain switches, you might be able to get a navigational flight out of this. I'm not sure. I know that the cockpit is fully working, just not clickable. So it starts up, well, you get in with the engine running already. I'm not sure if there's a way to overcome that and just use the Control E to get it started, but this is how you load up in game. Let's have a look at the externals. Looking around, it very much looks the part, very much the F-86 Sabre, and even though it's FSX and it's been bought over and converted for freeware, it's still very much a very detailed aircraft. Put the air brakes in, accidentally left my air brake switch out, and yeah, I mean, the liveries aren't too bad. I mean, yes, they could be better, but that's the whole point of bringing this to the community. The person who's released this has said that if people want to make liveries for it, they're more than welcome to, or even just to bring the old liveries up to a higher standard. There is a paint kit. The original FSX paint kit is included with the file, so you can go in and do that. Sounds, I mean, let's just bring the engine up a bit. And I'll be honest, that doesn't sound bad at all. I mean, yes, this is FSX, but still very good. And at least they are dynamic. You're not just getting the same sound over and over again. Back to idle. We've got full flaps. All the animations are there. The one thing you will need to do is to bind the landing lights to a switch so you can take them off. They just reappear and appear. There's no animation for those, but not a big deal. And then next we'll bring the external stores on. So if we go up to the menu and go to weight and balance, they've made this very simple, not with doing any weights at all. It's just selecting 0, 1, 2 or 3. So if we delete the 1, which we're currently in for fuel tanks, and put in a 0, it cleans the aircraft up. Delete that, put a 3 in, we've got 3, not 30, mate. So if we put in that, we now have bombs. If we delete that one now and put a 2 in, and delete the 0, we now have rockets. So quite nice simple way of just adding additional stores if you so want to carry them. I personally would probably have this aircraft clean, if it would actually let me. 0. There we go. So yeah, I think it looked a lot better clean. And then we close this up. Obviously you can change your fuel and everything like that. External, I'm guessing, doesn't matter if the fuel tanks are on or off, you can still add those. And then there's the additional part for you aerobatic fans and aerobatic display team, you know, fans that you want airshow smoke. So bound to the logo light is airshow smoke. No colours, just white, classic white. So you've got that if you want to do that, and as you can see the shadows are a little bit iffy, but you've got to remember this is freeware, and I for one definitely agree with it. If you want lights on, press L and you get your nav lights on and all the other stuff. It might turn on your logo lights if you haven't got a switch, which there we go, you see that the smoke, it automatically comes on with the lights. You've got it bound to a logo switch, flick that switch, and logo lights, sorry, flick that switch, take the smoke off, we now have external lights as well. So what's the handling like? If we take off the parking brake, as you can see, we've got stick movement, throttle movement, everything, like I say, should work, just can't do it with the mouse. Take the parking brake off and we'll roll forward. They're using 06 today and I've spawned at the wrong end, like the genius I am. So let's get first stage flat down for takeoff. Ground handling's, well, yeah, it's nice, it's light, it's not over the top. Okay, the spooling down sounds a bit odd, but that's FSX sounds for you back in the day. And yeah, let's taxi straight out, get in the air, do some manoeuvring, get it back on the ground and do the summary. Brakes on. Right, let's spool up. Everything looks good, fuel flow is good, RPM's good, everything's in green. Right, and brakes off. Rotate now. Okay, gear up, flaps up, trim out. Some speed up and some height. Crunching. Yeah, the handling's not too bad, to be fair. Obviously, the faster you get, the more responsive the roll's going to be. Get up to 300 knots. Throttle back, see if we can keep it at 300 knots. There we go. Yep, we're all trimmed out. So, roll authority is very good. Pull a bit of a high G turn. As fast as I can get this to turn, stick this through all the way back. Very good, nice, nice, nice. Okay, we're going to roll over, throttle up. Okay, 350 knots, pull up, oh, no shuddering. Love it, this is fantastic. What a great little freeware package. See how quickly it responds to air brakes. Air brakes are out. Below 250 knots. Get the altitude down. Air brakes in. Keep some speed up. Don't want to fall out the air. Gear down. First stage flap down. Loving the shadow from the canopy. That's really nice. Trim's very responsive as well. Excellent stuff. Van flaps down. Landing lights on. There we go. Superb. Unfortunately, the cabin pressure gauge there in front of me is really getting in the way. Brakes out, and throttle. Just let it float down. Okay, it was more than a float, that was a bit of a drop. But we're down. Excellent. Just going to cut off the runway here, and let's get to the summary. Right, let's get to the summary. You'd be mad not to download this. Yes, it's an FSX native, but it's been brought up to native standard for flight sim, or MSFS. It has working gauges. Yeah, you can't click the cockpit. Okay, that's a bit of a downside, but you've got to remember that this is a freeware of a previous payware aircraft, so the detail is there. It's not like you're getting into a cardboard box and something that looks vaguely like a Sabre. This is a genuine article, and it's I think it's fantastic. The inclusion of the smoke, great idea. Excuse me. And also quite a few liveries to choose from, which is also another great thing, and the paint kit included for any livery artists out there that want to add to it. This is going to stay in my aircraft selection. I think it's fantastic, be great for VFR flying, bit of old school, just sightseeing, and flying with your friends for aerobatics or you know, display groups as a whole. Sounds are what they are. I mean, they're better than somebody farted through a toilet roll tube. So I give it a big thumbs up. To the developers who have brought this up to Flight Sim standard, I applaud you. I think you've done a fantastic job. It really, really flies well. It looks good. Yes, the liveries are a bit old school, but like I say, the potential is there to change that. And other than not having a clickable cockpit, I think for Freeware is fantastic. Prove me wrong. Put it in the comments. I know people are going to say, yeah, clickable cockpit, you can't do navigation, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm throwing that out of the window. I'm usually like my in-depth, being able to navigate and all those various things, but just for sheer putting a smile on your face, getting in, not having to worry about startup procedures, it's already up and running, getting in, flying and having some fun with your friends, this is right up there. So yeah, if you got this far, thank you for watching. I'll end the video now, so take care, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.